I am on a mission to show you music from every single country on earth. Let's spin that wheel.
Good morning, Vietnam!
I know basically nothing about Vietnamese music except for that one meme Viet Cong song that goes, Basic historical rundown. Prehistory. Dynastic period. Colonized by the French. Japan invades in World War II. War ends. Split into communist North and capitalist South. Civil War. Communists win. Capitalist reforms in the 80s and 90s. And now we're at today. There are so many regional folk traditions in Vietnam, I can't possibly talk about all of them in a TikTok video. So all I'm gonna tell you is that Vietnam has been hiding the acoustic theremin from us all. It's called the
đàn bầu.
Vietnam's pop industry first kicked off in South Vietnam during the Civil War when American troops brought R&B and rock to Vietnam. Vietnamese musicians combined these with local traditional music and a special surprise genre, which I will be discussing in a minute, to create a genre called
Nhạc vàng.
which means yellow music. The first wave of
Nhạc vàng.
is very melancholic and slow, with orchestral pop elements mixed in with traditional Vietnamese instruments and Vietnamese folk melodies played on Western instruments like guitar and piano. These songs are overly sad because presumably living in the Vietnam War sucked. I recommend the Saigon Super Sound series of compilations to get started.
Mẹ thương bao con thân gái đục cha, mai kia mút nọ còn đi lấy chồng.
Người từ là từ phương Bắc đã qua dòng sông dài, tìm đến phương này một nhà tân. Rừng núi giang tay nối lại biển xa, ta đi vòng ta lấy.
Okay, remember that secret genre I was talking about? Well, that is South American bolero, which has heavily influenced Vietnamese music, particularly...
Nhạc vàng.
I have no clue how this happened, but it brings me joy to see that it did.
Môi nào hãy còn thơm cho ta phơi cuộc tình, tóc nào hãy còn xanh cho ta chút hồn nhiên.
Hết rồi người đã xa tôi, hết rồi người đã phụ tôi, hết rồi.
After the war, the Communist Party banned
Nhạc vàng.
instead favoring an adaptation of Vietnamese folk music called
Đa chú.
focused on communistic themes of glorifying the Vietnamese peasantry. The main instrument used in this is called the...
Đàn tam.
There's also usually some sparse percussion.
Chuột đàn chua xót nói khi bơi đầy, sang đến hai ân thì con ơi mẹ chịu bấy chay.
The ban on
Nhạc vàng.
was lifted in 1986, leading to a revival called Second Wave,
Nhạc vàng.
which is like old,
Nhạc vàng.
except there's cheesy 80s synths now.
Mưa buồn mãi rơi trên biển xưa âm thầm.
Second Wave
Nhạc vàng.
still carries the melancholy of the first wave, but with a touch of yearning melodrama. I get a lot of city pop vibes from it.
Tôi viết tên anh trên
I came across this second wave album that starts with a Beatles cover.
tình anh chào em thua ấy.
This is so interesting to me because South Vietnamese people would have heard the music of the Beatles when the American army was all up in their shit, but then the music disappeared once the North won and banned American music. If you were a middle-aged Vietnamese person in the 80s, hearing this on the radio must have been a fucking wild ride. Opening up to the outside world led to a whole new set of influences to enter Vietnamese music. Going into the 21st century, there is a specter haunting Vietnam. The specter of K-pop. Right now, as I record this video, the most popular song in Vietnam is by Korean singer Jungkook. Seems like K-pop culture is everywhere in Vietnam. Vietnamese artists adapted this K-pop influence to
Nhạc vàng.
creating V-pop, which is all the rage in Vietnam right now. V-pop songs are mostly similarly slow and ballady like,
Nhạc vàng.
but with lush modern digital production and a few hip-hop elements here and there for spice.
Phải viết bao nhiêu bản tình ca để anh thương em, phải hát bao nốt nhạc đen trắng để anh nghĩ đến em một giây, nhịp phách trong.
The mixing is very stripped down to make room for impressive vocal performances, which have a very polished sound like a lot of K-pop. I can tell V-pop producers like the technique of preserving the flavor of the original audio, just letting each sound live in its own place and work together, and not adding too much production pizzazz. That job is reserved for the house DJs.
Kề vai anh
V-pop artist MIN just dropped her second album this year as a visual stage on YouTube, which I think is a pretty cool concept. This video shows how in V-pop there actually is a decent amount of live instrumentation instead of just pure MIDI production, which kind of sets it apart from other Asian pop genres. This cozy little V-pop banger exemplifies the more DIY aesthetics of V-pop. You won't really find the massive supergroups with crazy production value that you do in its older cousin in Korea. This catchy little ballad has a good deal of English in it, which makes me think that V-pop artists might be trying to appeal to a more Western audience. It makes me wonder if V-pop might actually be able to have a moment where it breaks into the West like K-pop did. This video involves the singer going on a date in a museum filled with basic household appliances while his doppelganger stalks him. Also, he raps. So now we have to discuss Vietnamese rap. If I could describe Vietnamese rap with just one word, it would be pretty. It's not trying to be hard and heavy like most American rap is. It's all very chill and a little moody, which is a pretty prevalent vibe in V-pop in general. I may be wrong about this, and Vietnamese people, please correct me if I am, but I have this feeling that Vietnamese rap music didn't come from American rap, but actually more through K-pop, and as a result, it's sort of culturally filtered through K-pop, which is very interesting. Here's a cute little V-pop Roomba, which shows the chill-maxing priorities of the Vietnamese people even further. The video is just the singer and her girlfriend hanging out and dancing, and I love it. This is my favorite V-pop song I've probably found this whole time. Shout out to Vietnamese lesbians. Now, listening to all these ballads, you'd think if you played a song above 90 BPM in Vietnam, you'd give people heart attacks, but that's not necessarily true. Vina House is the name of an EDM fusion genre popular in Vietnamese clubs. It's also pretty big on Vietnamese TikTok. Musically, Vina House is mostly made up of sped-up remixes of V-pop songs, with basically every other EDM genre peppered throughout the DJ mixes. Some of it can be quite poppy. Other times it can be much more out there. Often they will sample traditional Vietnamese instruments.
I'm not in a mood, cause my flight they're late. So I jumped to private jet. I'm asking a pilot at ETA.
Also, me and my team have discovered that the girls in Vina House videos have 10 to 20% less fabric on their skin than the girls in V-pop videos do. Also, there's a V-pop artist named Ween. Anyways, Vietnamese people, if I said anything incorrect, please leave a comment. I'm very open to criticism. Don't forget to like and comment and follow and play this video on loop while you sleep. Playlist linked in the doobly-doo. Bye-bye!
Cô thì khen là lính hào hoa,
có mơ trong có mơ mộng lặng đêm nằm không.